It's the 2010s. The NBA is now a thing. It's got the most star power the league has seen in a long time. Faces like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Steph Curry. All of them are tied to important moments in basketball history. For sneaker enthusiasts though, they're tied to some of the most groundbreaking basketball shoes ever made. Brands were innovating again. The shoes were being worn on and off the court, and it was like the renaissance of basketball sneaker culture in a way. Today, we're going to be looking at the basketball sneakers that defined an era. The LeBron 8. LeBron James was really at the forefront of what Nike was doing at the time. In the late 2000s, LeBron was the main man in the league, dunking on people left and right. But after a crushing loss to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, he signed with the Miami Heat, teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to make the iconic Big Three of Miami. Side note, doesn't this feel like it just happened yesterday? This was in 2010, man, 12 years ago. We're getting old. The shoes LeBron would wear for his first year in South Beach? The LeBron 8. Debuting in the South Beach colorway, arguably the best LeBron colorway across all of his models. The silhouette had no shortage of colorways either, and even the tech of the shoe was upgraded throughout the season. The version 1 and version 2 featured the same tooling, including a full-length air unit, but the V1 uppers featured leather and suedes like what was seen in the Asia's Veterans Day original black and red colorway. The V2 would shake things up a bit and go full synthetic with flywire and weaved mesh plasticky panels throughout. Notable colorways include the Summit Lake Hornets, All-Stars, the Entourages, the Christmases, the low-top Miami Knights, Sprites, and the Solar Reds. And as we all know, Miami would make it to the postseason, and the 8 would get another version, the PS. This time around, cutting the Air Max unit to a heel unit and a Zoom Air unit in the forefoot, and ditching the leathers and suedes. The upper would go full hyperfuse along with the upper with a mesh tongue for ventilation. This version did see some cool samples, but nothing major ever released. Maybe we should do a whole series on LeBron sneakers. What do you think? Also, if you're enjoying this, why not like and subscribe? The Nike Hyperdunk 2012. Nike's Hyperdunk line used to be really good, and I would argue with anyone who has time that the Hyperdunk belongs in their classics category. You go to any high school gym from 2009 to 2013, and I guarantee you'll see some Hyperdunks in the gym, a true Hooper's go-to. But it was the 2012 Hyperdunk that brought all the pieces together. Flywire returned, paired with a light upper that really molded to your feet, full Lunarlon sole. This Hyperdunk was a beast on the court. The shoe was unveiled by LeBron right before the Olympics that year, and I remember this ad showing the Nike Plus capabilities, showing how high you jump and a bunch of other cool stats with LeBron doing this crazy dunk. It's hard to think about basketball shoes from the 2010s and not mention a Hyperdunk. The Curry 1s. In 2013, Steph Curry shocked the sneaker world when he announced that he would be leaving Nike to sign with Under Armour. Somehow, some way, Under Armour landed the best shooter of all time to be the face of their brand. You see, at the time, Under Armour wasn't exactly known for being at the forefront of basketball performance. They were a non-frills athletic brand that you could find at Ross Dress for Less for the low. Their biggest star was Brandon Jennings. Although he was a stud, he didn't have that star power that Steph Curry would bring. And after rumblings of a botched meeting with Nike and Steph, Under Armour knew it was their time. They were a small player in the market, so they had to be creative in their approach to recruiting Steph. They used Steph's rookie teammate, Kent Bazemore, as the Trojan horse to get what they wanted. Under Armour gave Kent Bazemore everything he wanted, more shoes and gear than anyone in the locker room for the Warriors. Guys, we're talking about Kent Bazemore here, an undrafted rookie. Steph Curry even shouted out his teammate and said he was the main reason he made the switch. You see, Under Armour was able to offer Steph something other brands couldn't, him being the face of their brand. And in 2015, the Curry 1 would finally be unveiled. Packed with tech like a Micro G foam carrier midsole and an Anafoam upper, this shoe was everywhere and it was even selling out. It was that popular. And for a few years, the Curry sneakers were a Hooper staple. It kind of reminds me a bit of what Puma is doing now with LaMelo Ball, the Nike KD4. The thing I love about the KD line was that originally it was meant to be affordable. The first 3 shoes of the KD line were good, but the KD4s took it to a whole new level. And to top it off, all of them were under $100. You really can't beat that, and something I really wish that brands would go back to: affordability. The shoe was packed with design cues and performance technology. Zoom cushioning in the heel, a Thunderbolt traction pattern on the outsole, a strap for support with a big old Nike swoosh on it. If you were into sneakers during this era, then you know exactly what I'm talking about here. These were great, but the thing that really made the shoe iconic was the colorways. The Nerfs and the Weathermans were grails for sneaker enthusiasts back then. Pairs like the Easters, the Gold Medals, the Aunt Pearls, the Galaxies, the Creamsicles, and the White and Black N7s. Really, any KD4 is a solid one. Fingers crossed that Nike brings these back at some point. The Kobe 6. Really, any Kobe from the 4 and on could probably be on this list, but the 6 is by far the most iconic. Synthetic snakeskin upper, flywire, zoom cushioning, the Kobe 6 had it all technology-wise. The upper on these were super light. I swear, lacing these up makes me feel like the same beast but a different animal.
You're welcome.
Shout out to anybody who gets that reference. In my opinion, the shape of the shoe is so good that you could throw any colorway on it and I'm copping. There's the Barcelonas, the Chaos pair, the Dark Knights, the Chaos, and who could forget the Grinches. As of late, they've been a common sight on the NBA hardwood, thanks to players like AD and DeMar DeRozan donning them on the court. And I'm so happy that they're starting to come back out. Hopefully we get some more soon because I really love this sneaker. And it definitely harkens back to the 2010s. The Galaxy Foamposite. Alright, although this isn't a basketball shoe anymore, it was at one point, and it was worn on the court, so I'm counting it in. It was a big deal in our little world of sneakers. And really, the whole Galaxy pack summarizes 2010's basketball shoes. The LeBron 9 Big Bang, the Kobe 7 Galaxy, and the previously mentioned KD4s are all great, but the Galaxy Foamposites, those were the holy grails. Everyone and their mom wanted a pair. The shoe caused mayhem for retailers on release day, and someone even listed their car on Craigslist for the sole purpose of trading for a pair of Galaxy Foams. That dude was caught up in the hype and down bad. Man, the sneaker world at the time was a weird place. The shoe features an all-over Galaxy print, but the X factor was the glow-in-the-dark sole. Dudes just had to have that. Although the Galaxy print has been overdone, this was one of the first times, and it was definitely the most iconic. And I have a feeling that someday they'll retro them. Hopefully next time around we can act like civilized people and not cause riots. The Jordan 28. During the 2010s, Jordan brand was still naming their sneakers after the corresponding year. The Air Jordan 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. However, in 2013, Jordan would go back to numbers with the Jordan 28. And this shoe was interesting to say the least. It featured a giant shroud that would go up to the ankles, reminiscent of a pair of gloves. Underneath was a super lightweight mesh booty of a shoe. The shroud really gave unlimited possibilities when it came to colorways. Elephant print pairs, camo pairs for the All-Star game. Ray Allen had some really cool pairs made for him when he was playing for the Heat. This basketball shoe ushered in a new generation for Jordan brand. They followed it up with the Jordan 29. Probably one of my favorite basketball shoes ever. The Nike Adapt BB, or Nike Adapt Basketball. I remember growing up watching Back to the Future and seeing Marty McFly lace up the Nike Air Max. And to think that 30 some odd years later, that technology is not only a thing, but readily available. It's kind of mind blowing, like you can go out and buy these if you want right now. The Adapt BB was the second shoe to be released with the Adapt technology. At the core of this technology, there's an electronic device that uses a cable that tightens the shoe for you. No manual lacing. Nike was definitely trying hard with the Adapt technology. And when the shoe came out in 2019, a lot of NBA and WNBA players were lacing up pairs and hitting the court with them. Well, not really lacing them up, I guess, tightening them up? I don't know. Jason Tatum, he was a big promoter for the shoe before he signed with Jordan brand. De'Aaron Fox, John Morant, and all the league's youngest stars were there to promote the shoe. And although the shoe was kind of a flop, it still shows that really anything is possible in footwear. And it makes me wonder what the brands really have going on behind the scenes right now. Speaking of behind the scenes, we just launched a video podcast called Sneaker Enthusiasts, so go watch that. I'll put the link in the description. You could also listen to it anywhere you get podcasts. Okay, bye for now. Go watch that. Seriously, go listen to it. Bye.